Alright, so this is like part 3. These are the rest of the knives. Can't get them all in frame here. I had my wide angle lens and for some reason it switched over to the standard one. Anyways, we'll just do them one at a time. This is the guy that got me into getting knives again. Before that, I was satisfied with what I had, but I started watching YouTube videos, and one of the person in the lock channel also had he does his own videos on whatever he feels like. Jolly Peanut, he has a dog. I think that's what he names his channel after, is his dog, Jolly Peanut. But he had started buying cold steel, like Tac 1 and different stuff like that. He had moved to California, and he, couldn't. He had been in Oklahoma before. He couldn't carry a gun as much, so he was relying on knives. And he had a Tac 1 or whatever, but I started looking at cold steel, and I liked the looks of this Recon 1. And this is the one that started me getting into knives, but I've been working on it. But this triad lock, pushing it all the way down like that, is what, kept me from really being interested in it so much. It's not doing it so bad now, but when I was first doing it, it would leave a huge dent in there, so yeah, you could open your knife. So it's not really a flipper, even though it looks like it would be. So after I got the Delica, I got the Endura also in ZDP 189. It's just a bigger, basically like a Delica, but bigger. This is a pretty cool one here. The Ganzo, I think it's 51. What I liked about it is the harpoon kind of shape. This ramp up here that's smooth, that was kind of cool because you could just put your finger on it and you're not going to slip off. If you want to, you got nubs down here, but I like the smooth feeling sometimes. And really usable finger choil, kind of a spear type of shape to it. Just a cool little knife. See that handle shape? Again, that looks a lot like, I'll have them jump in, but the Artisan Archaeo. This is a mini Archaeo in copper that I got from Smokey. They have an exclusive. It's patinaed up pretty well over it was about a year or so. After I got this one, it's a little bit heavy, but not too heavy. It's like 4 ounces. I wanted to see what they were like without, with the standard G10, so I got. And man, this thing weighs almost nothing. It's like 2 ounces. Same blade shape, that Warncliffe. Pretty cool Warncliffe looking shape. So yeah, so I got that one. And then I'd never had a front flipper, so Civivi McKenna. Love these little knives. I still like playing with this one. It's a little knife, but it's got a loud thwack. Listen to that whack. But yeah, just a cool little knife. Of course, we got the Civivi Praxis. Cool knife. The equivalent, or basically the upgrade to that, is the Insight. If you look at them, they're almost identical. The difference is the Contour G10 on this really makes a difference in the feel and the handle. You see how it's not as cut out as the other one. You also have a bigger blade stop, because I actually took this apart and was going to swap blades. Swap this blade over to here and that one over there just to do it, and they won't do it. But yeah, it's just a cool knife. This is my main bigger EDC knife. If I want to have a bigger knife with me, I'll usually carry this one, but the Praxis would be a good backup. Here's another one that occasionally, if I ever decide to, let me straighten this camera up. If I ever decide to swap out the Elementum, I'll go with this one, which is the Spyderco Sage 5 lightweight. I wanted to try a compression lock. I think they're cool. And this is one of the ones One of the first ones I could Spidey flick like that. So this is a good fidget knife. You can fidget it or slow roll it, and you still have a nice leaf-shaped blade. It's about 3 inches. Of course, I've got the Civivi Backlash also. Another cool knife. Put your finger up there. Right. So none of these are in any particular order. A Ganzo. Oh, excuse me. Axis lock. This is like a Rat 2 with an axis lock, and shape and function and everything else, you know, basically. This is the FB 727. Was that an S? Yeah. Yes. Another knife. Right, I can start putting it back in the boxes. Here's another cool one, Civivi Chronic. I still like to use this one. It's like a doctor's knife, but a flipper. I mean, the best example of a doctor's knife flipper modern thing would be the what is that? CEO, the CEO, that thin one, because it has a flat end on it. This one doesn't have the flat end like a doctor's knife. Anyway, still cool knife. Blade steel's like 9 CR 18 MOV. It's cool steel. Alright. The Jade handled knives. This one is, I believe, the Agave. See if they got a model number on him there. Serial number 1911 D2. Originally I was going to dye these handles, but I like that jade color. You don't see that. You used to didn't see that a whole lot. More companies are starting to do it. Another Ganzo. This is kind of like, reminds me of the Benchmade 940 somewhat. FB 765. Yeah, I'm trying to look through the lens. Alright. This one was given to me by, I just got that lock on. This is a Benchmade Barrage. This was given to me by Mike, one of the guys in the lock community. When I was doing my last lock videos, I started mentioning that I like knives and stuff, and him and that's also Cameron from the lock community just started sending me knives. You know, it was very awesome. But this is a cool knife. I have to keep it locked because, sorry, a stupid damn Amber Alert interrupted this. I don't care. Watch your kids more often. I'm not abducting them. This one I had actually before I started buying a lot of knives. This is a Kershaw. Here's the model number. It's an assisted opening. R.J. Martin design. 1986 WM. But yeah, it's a cool one. And of course, this was actually the one before. Even with its flaws, I fixed it a little bit, but it'll still, if you try to just push down on it, it'll weak. You can't do that on my other Elementum. I mean, you can't. This one, you push down on, it's going to open every time. Which was the main reason I was getting it. This is the only Civivi I've ever had that had a problem with this detent. And when I went to get this one, this is not the color I was going for. I wanted the rosewood, but by then, when they first came out, everybody was getting them. So, if you wanted an Elementum, if you found one available, you had to get it whatever color or style it was. And even though, you know, I just had to teach myself to give it extra force when doing that. But I liked everything else about the knife. But now with this one, you know, this is my favorite. This is what I carry all the time. It won't go, you know, if I'm cremated, it won't go in the cremation. But if I was buried in a coffin, it'd be there in my pocket. Or I'm out in the woods, they find my body, wherever, they're going to find this on me. Because, yeah, I carry it. I love it. It does everything I need it to do. It just has a nice blade shape, sharp as hell, stays sharp most of the time. I only usually have to hone it. I had the factory edge on it for the longest time, and then I watched a video where somebody was talking about behind the edge thickness was thicker on these, on one of theirs, and I checked mine and it actually was thicker than this one, but because it's a hollow grind, I was actually able to drop my angle down and I got it to go back a little bit, and now it's thinner behind the edge than this one. I don't have my calipers with me to measure it, but yeah, anyways, I love it. So there you go, that's all of the modern flippers that I've got, or modern knives, and that's why I'm not chasing them anymore. I did all of this within, like, I purchased all of these knives within, this in part 1 and part 2, all within 2 years, a lot of it within a year and a half. So, you know, that's sinking a lot of money into knives and stuff, and unless you're trying to just set up a collection, you know, to send to a lot of people, or make your own little museum, you know, once you settle on something you like, or at least I do with me, all these other ones, are they going to be any better than what I've got right now? Are they going to do anything better than what I've got? No. Then, you know, I can't afford to just, like, I like this one, they made it into a front flipper, but, you know, is it worth me spending another 50, 60 bucks on this when, you know how many traditional knives I could get for 50 or 60 bucks? So, anyways, after that I started switching to traditional knives, and that's where I am right now, pretty much. And like I said, I'll rotate these guys in and use them once in a while, but if I want something to flip or fidget with, I've got plenty of them. I mean, I don't need to just throw money at these companies just because they came out with a good design. If it's great, then it'll be there later on. I don't have to worry about, oh, I gotta buy them now, they might sell out. So what? So what if they do? You know, if they're that good of a design, they'll come back. Like Elementum. At first you couldn't get them for the longest time. Everybody's like, oh, I really wish I would have one. I don't know if that was a marketing ploy or not, but whatever it is, it worked, because everybody was just panic buying on these for a while and wishing they had them, but now I think they're enough in stock that you can get an Elementum in pretty much any flavor you want. There you go, there's my little story of my EDC journey as far as my modern flippers. I've stopped chasing them. I've got enough here. I'm only one person. You know, how many knives can you carry in your hand? I've got enough knives that if I want variety, I've got variety. Now, maybe on, I'm not saying it's permanent, but maybe on, I might want to buy another knife, but, you know, modern flipper. But right now, I don't have any need to, desire to, or the finances to be chasing these things like that. So, you can do whatever you want. I'm not, you know, envious of anybody else. If they've got a big collection, or a huge collection, or a small collection, whatever size collection you got, that's you. That's fine if you're happy with it. I'm not going to rain on your parade and try to poo-poo and say you're not good enough or whatever, you know. But for me, this is enough knives, you know. Enough knives as far as, like, EDC flippers for now. I mean, there's really, I don't see much coming out, you know. Maybe I don't have a super huge desire for an OTF knife. I've explored pretty much most of the modern designs. I like a flipper. I'm not as a big fan of the tab. Only, no, this is not a tab. The studs. Only because if you miss on deploying it, I would have to pick up the one that's got a lock on it. If you miss on deploying it, it could cut you. Oh, look, see? I don't like them so much. Here's a good one right here, the Recon 1. If you're pushing this up and you slip, or especially if you're trying to flip it and you don't get it all the way, your thumb's expecting to go up through here, but if the blade stops, it could be right here. I've come close. I've come brushed on the edge on some of these, like this one in particular, trying to, you know, flip it out. After that, I just realized, just slow roll it out. Don't try to be crazy. People, it's my cue. So thank you for watching, and have a nice day.